What's going on YouTube? Flashy here and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we're going to be discussing what is currently my favorite Gambit build to run. So let's get right into it. First things first, we're going to have to be the Arcstrider Hunter. In terms of grenade, you can use any grenade that you want. I prefer the Flux grenade just because it sticks to enemies. It makes you feel like I'm playing Halo 3 with plasma grenades. The Arc Bolt works really well. I haven't really used the Skip grenade too much in Destiny 2, so I'm not too sure about it, but I like the Flux grenade a lot. I think it does great. Next, in terms of your dodge, this is completely up to you as well. I usually go for the Gambler's dodge because it recharges your melee ability, and in a second you'll see why we want our melee ability all the time. But having the Marksman dodge works as well too. You know, if you want to reload your weapon, if you're maybe using LMGs or anything like that, this is also a great choice. Jump, completely optional, up to you. And now in terms of which tree to use. For this build, I prefer the top tree, but the good thing about Arcstrider is you can really use any tree that you want. The bottom tree has its benefits in terms of you're harder to kill while dodging, while critically wounded, your melee and grenades recharge faster, so it's got some good things here. Disorient enemies with your melee, which can also combine well with the Gambler's dodge. Middle tree works really well too, just because of Whirlwind Guard, which while wielding your arc staff, you can deflect incoming projectiles, and after you deflect a projectile, it triples the arc staff damage for a short time. And you'll see when we get into the exotic gear that we're using why this is so good. But again, I use top tree because of combination blow mixed with the Gambler's dodge. So combination blow, if you kill an enemy with his melee ability, you get health regeneration and it increases your melee damage. I don't really go for the melee damage increase, but that health regeneration just keeps you alive, especially when you have some of the harder mobs spawning in, like the yellow health bar enemies and stuff like that. So I like combination blow just because it keeps me alive, and anytime we dodge next to enemies, we get our melee ability back and we can just shoot them once or twice, hit the combination blow, get that health back. But yeah, combination blow is literally like the only reason I use top tree. Like I kept saying, you can use any one you want, whatever you're most comfortable with. I just like top tree just because of combination blow. I think it keeps me alive. You know, I don't lose the motes that I stack up 15 motes and I'm about to die, get a quick melee, get my health back, go bank the motes for a large blocker. It works out really well for me. This is what your build is going to look like in the actual Arcstrider subclass. Now let's get into the gear and the armor. So for gear, you can pretty much use any primary, any heavy that you want. What we're really looking for in this build is the Risk Runner Arc Submachine Gun because it has the Arc Conductor. So when taking arc damage, this weapon becomes more powerful and resists arc damage, kills extended time in this overcharged state. Not only that, but we also have Super Conductor. So when Arc Conductor is active, shots fired have the chance to become chain lightning and return ammo. So the combination of Super Conductor and Arc Conductor is absolutely lethal. As you can see, it just absolutely shreds through ads. The only problem with it is it won't proc unless you take incoming arc damage, but I found that this works the best against Fallen, Taken, and Hive because all those enemies have a lot of arc weapons, so you can literally just run around the Gambit map just super conducted out of your mind and just chaining lightning and having unlimited ammo because you don't have to reload. It says it has a chance to return ammo, but it will literally constantly be just filling up your clip over and over and over again. So not only are you chaining massive lightning damage to everybody, but you also just never have to reload. So you're literally a walking lightning bolt already off the start, and we haven't even activated our super yet. So we run around with this while we're trying to bank motes, make some orbs, and just try to shred through the enemies as quickly as possible. Again, this works really, really well against Fallen, Hive, and some Taken enemies. In terms of Scorn and Cabal, I've had some trouble with Cabal. You can get the Fallen captains that have arc, and that works really well. But other than that, you don't really take any arc damage. So if you're going up against enemies that don't really shoot arc damage, again, like Cabal or Scorn, what you want to do is you can actually super conduct yourself with the Flux Grenade, which is why I use it as well. The Arc Bolt, I'm not sure about the Skip Grenade if you can hurt yourself. I don't think the Arc Bolt hurts you. But if you use the Flux Grenade and you either throw it down at your feet or throw it at an enemy and stand next to them, you won't die, but you'll get super conducted right away. Moving on over to the armor, headpiece, gauntlets, legs, cloak, none of it really matters. What really does matter and what brings this whole build together is the Exotic Hunter chest piece, the Raiden Flux. So for those of you guys that don't know what this exotic chest piece does, I also think it looks absolutely amazing. So aesthetically pleasing as well is great here. But for those of you guys that don't know what it does, we get Synapse Junctions. Quick successive attacks with arc staff increases damage output and duration. The main point of this build is just constantly increasing duration of arc damage. So we have the Superconductor Risk Runner, which is constantly increasing our duration as we're getting kills while being conducted. And then while we're in our super, we have the Raiden Flux increasing the duration by getting quick successive attacks. Now, in terms of getting quick successive attacks, this might be a little difficult on like mobs and stuff. While we're using our Super 4 in Gambit, is strictly to destroy primevals and envoys. What this really excels at is just absolutely tearing through envoys. As you guys can see on screen, I'm running through some clips that I got. As soon as the primeval and envoys spawn in, you pop your super, just tearing through everything. and just you get those quick successive attacks on the primeval, so you're just constantly increasing your damage and duration. Just for me, it's just spam left clicking on the primeval and just trying to get as much damage and duration as I can out of it. But this is really what brings everything together here is the raid influx. You really want to just save your super for as soon as you guys get the primeval to proc, and as soon as the primeval and the 2 envoys spawn in, you just pop your super right in the middle of all them and just go to town. I should preface this though, this build does work a lot better in regular Gambit, so for all my Gambit Prime players out there, this build will still work on the Primeval. The only reason I don't really use it is because the envoys spawn so far away from each other on the map in Gambit Prime. So you have to run to one envoy, kill him really quick, and then while your super is like just draining, you're wasting time running to the other envoy or back to the primeval. In regular Gambit, the 2 envoys and the primeval all just spawn right in the middle, and you can literally, like I keep saying, just go to town on them with the arc staff. And it's actually such an amazing build. This is literally what I'm rocking every single time I jump into Gambit. But that about brings everything together. Like I said, it's not too crazy. It's all it is really just the Risk Runner, Arcstrider, and then the Raid Influx. You don't even have to use the Risk Runner. I just use it because I think it kind of completes the whole role playing of being an Arc badass. Because while you're not in your super, you're still just shredding through enemies like your Emperor Palpatine with lightning. And then, of course, when you do pop the super, the whole point of this build is with the Raid Influx, and you just chain your Arc Staff hits, you get your damage buff and the duration. And you guys will notice, you are literally going to be in your Arc Staff for so much longer than you think. You're just going to be sitting there hammering away at the primeval because you're going to shred the envoys within like 2 hits each, so those will already be gone, and you still have like 75% left of your super, and you just left click spam the primeval with it, and that's about it. Like I said, it's not a crazy build. It's pretty simple to make. All you have to do is just get the Risk Runner and the Raid Influx. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you try this build out and how you like it, and I will see you guys in the next one.